I don't think people should protest this, no. And I think President Trump, if you talk to him, he doesn't believe that either. I mean, I think the thing that you may misinterpret when President Trump talks, when someone says that they can protest, he would probably be referring to my tweet. Educate people about what's going on. He's not talking in a harmful way, and nobody should.
I love it. Like for a brief second, you're like, oh, good. Kevin McCarthy's in that occasional brief mode he gets into where he realizes that a line is being crossed and he asks everyone to step back from the, oh no, wait, no, he's not doing that at all. No, when he says protest, what he really means in a broader sense is don't protest. That's like Darth Maul doing a press conference about Emperor Palpatine and saying, when he says wipe them out, all of them, he really means hear them out. Consider their point of view. That's not what he means. He was pretty clear about the protest thing, buddy.
He means wipe them out.
I think that's what he means.
Do it. Yeah.
That was good. I like that. Now, just to continue with McCarthy, he does say nobody should harm one another in this. We want calmness out there. I do not believe there should be any violence in response to this. So that is better. I like that. Let's try to encourage, but he is not in charge. Nobody cares what Kevin McCarthy thinks, but still, you still have to say it even if they're not gonna listen to you.
It's very funny. I think that's so funny. And of course he didn't mean, this guy, are you kidding me? No, Trump, are we talking about the same guy? He meant protest, he's for testing. He believes in bringing back a test, for democracy and voting, which we all are for. Protest, he's always been protest. He passed that test with flying colors. Remember the senility test? Anyway, what's for lunch?
Oh God. Others are trying to get out in front of the violence. You had John Kennedy saying, don't be a knucklehead and riot. By the way, does everybody love that he just, that is not his voice? Like, isn't that weird? He's just pretending to have a voice. Didn't he go to Harvard? It's so weird that he can get away with that. Others are, I think, losing themselves a little bit in their attempts to defend Trump. Whoever the hell this guy is says President Trump will be arrested during Lent, a time of suffering and purification for the followers of Jesus Christ. As Christ was crucified and then rose again on the third day, so too shall real Donald Trump. Violence is never the answer. That's good. Winning the election is, which he didn't. Vote for Trump. So, okay. I am not necessarily the biggest reader or devotee of the Bible, but I think that adultery was frowned upon in Christianity. I think they had like a commandment against it. But anyway, what I want your opinion on, Francesca, and the reason I want to talk about this response to the violence is, it is one thing for some to say don't be violent, which is good, and I want more and more people to do that. But the preemptive pre-spiracy theory of some, I think is fascinating. So Marjorie Greene has been on a tear about this, tweeting things like, how many Fed assets are in place to turn protest against the political arrest of President Trump into violence? She says they have the right to protest, but to make clear that federal agents who infiltrate political movements and attempt to incite political violence, you should be on the lookout for that. There's a lot of reasons to believe that happened on the 6th. So she wants them in the streets, and she seems minimally like sentient enough to know that if they go in the streets, they'll probably get violent. But if they do get violent, we're not gonna wait until it happens and then claim that it was Antifa. No, ahead of time, we're gonna tell you it's already the feds before it happens. You should still go, but it's the feds.
My favorite line is the feds line, because it's the one that I'm like, yeah, the feds do stuff like that. So like, I get, like, keep on with that. You know who they usually target, interestingly enough? The very groups that you despise, like Antifa, like BLM. You know, all of the infiltrators and the provocateurs that were around during the Occupy Wall Street movement and the BLM movement. Oh my God, lady. So just like, again, the victim complex is insane. And also it's like, what a world that would be. I mean, look, I don't believe that feds should infiltrate anyone, but it's like, how many like Islamic center organizations, like community orgs have been infiltrated by the feds. And like, oh, if not if only, but like lol that we live in a country that they do the same thing to like Christian groups. Yeah. But again, this is like, I see your oppression and I assume it as my own.
Yeah.
And then I use it to target you back. Yay.
It's so easy to find right-wingers desperate for violence. Like,
oh my God, yeah.
Fed provocateurs go to these protests. Their job has never been easier to get something boiling over.
Oh God.
She's the woman who a couple months ago was like, well, if I'd been leading January 6th, we would have won. Like, you don't then get to pretend that the only violence is coming from the feds when you are still fantasizing about it more than a year out.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.